You ever notice how some people, they just always seem to get their way? Could be a friend, a partner, maybe your boss. They have this, this knack for making you do things and you don't even realize you're being played. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not an accident. They're pulling invisible strings, using a set of techniques we call dark psychology.
So, let me just ask you this straight up. Are the choices you're making every single day, are they really yours? Because believe me, there are hidden psychological forces at play all around us. And you know what? Master manipulators are using them to control our behavior without us ever even knowing.
Okay, I want to be crystal clear about something. The goal here is not to teach you how to manipulate people. Nope, it's the exact opposite. This is about arming you, giving you the knowledge to defend yourself. Think of this as your personal shield against these psychological tactics so you can spot them from a mile away.
All right, let's dive right in. We're going to start with what I like to call conversational power plays. These are the super subtle, often invisible tactics that people use in just everyday chats to get the upper hand. So let's kick things off with a technique that weaponizes something we all absolutely dread. That's right, the uncomfortable silence. Our brains are basically hardwired to hate awkward pauses. We panic, we rush to fill the void, and we end up oversharing in the process. Imagine you're in a salary negotiation. They give you an offer. Instead of jumping to reply, just stay quiet for 3, maybe 4 seconds. Maintain eye contact. That silence creates so much pressure, it makes them wonder, was that offer too low? And they might just start justifying it or even sweetening the deal right there on the spot.
Next up, we've got a classic trick. This one gives you the feeling of being in the driver's seat when you're really just along for the ride.
This one is called the illusion of choice. See, by offering 2 preset options, a manipulator cleverly shifts your focus. You're no longer deciding if you'll do something, you're deciding which of their 2 options you're going to pick. The choice feels like it's your own, but the outcome, that was decided before they even asked you.
And this slide right here shows you exactly how it works. Asking, "Can we meet?" leaves the door wide open for a no. But asking, "So is Thursday or Friday better for you?" that cleverly assumes the meeting is a done deal. Your brain just skips the whole yes or no part and jumps straight to checking your schedule. It's such a small change in wording, but it has a massive impact.
Okay, our third technique is, well, it's a little bit sneaky, but it works by tapping into a really fundamental part of human nature.
This is Cunningham's Law, and it's so clever because it taps into a fundamental truth about us. We absolutely love to be right. We are often more motivated to prove someone wrong than we are to just be helpful. This law plays directly on our ego and that irresistible urge we have to correct other people.
So check out how this plays out. You're not asking a question, right? You're setting a trap for their ego. By confidently throwing out a wrong number, you trigger their instinct to correct you, and maybe even brag a little bit. And just like that, you get the info you wanted, and they get to feel clever. It's a win-win. Well, for you, at least.
Now let's zoom out a bit for our second section, the social game. Here, the manipulation goes a little deeper than just a conversation. It actually starts to pull at the threads of our relationships.
All right, this next one is going to sound completely backward, I promise you, but the psychology behind it is absolutely fascinating.
This is the Ben Franklin effect. It works because of this psychological quirk called cognitive dissonance. Basically, our brains hate it when our actions don't match our beliefs. So when someone does you a favor, their brain has to justify it. It goes, wait, why did I help them? Well, I only help people I like, so I must like them. Ben Franklin famously used this to win over a political rival just by asking to borrow a rare book. It's brilliant.
Our fifth technique. This is something you might actually be doing already without even realizing how powerful it is.
This is mirroring. We are naturally drawn to people who are similar to us, and mirroring totally hacks into that. If they lean in, you subtly lean in a moment later. If they talk slow, you match their pace. This activates what are called mirror neurons in their brain, creating this deep subconscious feeling of trust. And listen, this isn't just a party trick. It's so powerful that FBI hostage negotiators use it to build rapport in life or death situations.
And now, for a classic tactic. One that I guarantee has been used on you before, whether you realize it at the time or not.
This is the door in the face technique. Here's the setup. You ask for something huge you know they'll refuse, like, hey, can I borrow 10,000 rupees? When they say no, they feel this little pang of guilt. Then you hit them with your real smaller request. Oh, okay, no problem. Could you just lend me 1,000 then? Suddenly, 1,000 seems like nothing in comparison, and that guilt makes it way harder for them to say no a second time.
Okay,
We need to talk about something a lot more serious now. The techniques we've covered so far, yeah, they can be manipulative, for sure. But this final one, gaslighting, it's in a completely different league. It's not just a trick, it's a direct psychological attack, and it's alarmingly common.
Gaslighting moves way beyond persuasion and becomes a full-on assault on your reality. The goal is to make you doubt everything, your memory, your perceptions, even your own sanity. They twist the narrative so skillfully that by the end of it, you, the victim, find yourself apologizing for something that was never your fault to begin with.
Just listen to these phrases and see if any of them sound familiar. You're overreacting. That never happened. You're being too sensitive. When you hear this day after day, a kind of poison starts to seep in. You start to internalize it, wondering if maybe, you are the problem.
And this slide here shows the emotional fallout. If you find yourself consistently feeling confused, exhausted, and just questioning yourself after talking to a specific person, that feeling is your alarm bell. It is a huge red flag for gaslighting. Your best defense is to ground yourself in the facts and just refuse to be pulled into their distorted reality.
And ultimately, that brings us to this idea. Knowledge of these techniques is a tool, just like a knife. You can use a knife to prepare a meal, or you can use it to cause harm. My goal today was just to show you how the tool works, not so you can use it against others, but so you can recognize it and defend yourself when someone tries to use it on you. In the end, it really is all about intention.
At the very beginning, I asked if your decisions were truly your own. Well, now that you can see the strings, now that you know the techniques, the power dynamic shifts. So I'll just leave you with one final